Every 18 minutes, an older adult suffers a stroke right inside the place they trust most, their bathroom. It's quiet, familiar, private. But what if I told you that the very space you step into 6 to 8 times a day might be putting your brain at serious risk without you even knowing it? As you watch this, millions of seniors are unknowingly repeating 4 common bathroom habits that quietly strain their hearts, starve their brains of oxygen, and push their blood pressure to dangerous extremes. And the worst part, most doctors never mention these risks during routine checkups. That's why in the next few minutes, we're going to uncover 4 specific dangers that have been hiding in plain sight and how a few simple changes could protect your health or even save your life. Let me introduce you to someone whose story may feel a little too familiar. Helen Dawson is 74 years old, a retired music teacher with a warm laugh and a deep love for gardening. She's known in her neighborhood for leading a weekly choir and baking her famous oatmeal cookies for every community event. Helen's energy and independence have always been her pride until one ordinary Tuesday morning changed everything. That day began like any other. But as she followed her usual bathroom routine, a series of long-standing habits she had never questioned nearly cost her everything. Habits she had developed over decades, ones that felt completely normal, turned out to be slowly pushing her body toward a silent and sudden collapse. If Helen's story reminds you of yourself or someone you love, I invite you to stay with me. And please click that like button and subscribe for more real-life health insights, grounded in compassion and science, made specifically for older adults who want to stay strong, aware, and in control. Habit 1: the dangerous strain. Helen's biggest health risk wasn't her age, her medications, or even her diet. It was something far more common and something she had done every morning for years without question. Like many older adults, Helen struggled with constipation. It had slowly become a frustrating part of her daily routine. Each morning, she'd sit for 10, sometimes 15 minutes, straining harder with each attempt, whispering, "Just get it over with," under her breath. What felt like a small annoyance was actually becoming a serious threat. You see, what Helen didn't realize was that she was unknowingly performing a maneuver known in medicine as the Valsalva maneuver, forcefully pushing while holding her breath. It's similar to trying to pop your ears on a plane, but far more intense and far more dangerous. Each time she strained, she was building intense pressure in her chest and head like a kettle on the verge of bursting. This pressure can send your blood pressure soaring by 60, 70, even 80 points in a matter of seconds. So if Helen's usual pressure was 130 over 80, it could spike to 200 over 140 while she pushed. That sudden surge forces the heart to pump harder while reducing blood flow to the brain. It's like slamming your foot on the gas and brake at the same time, and for aging arteries, that can be devastating. One morning, the room spun as Helen reached for the wall, her vision flickering. Doctors later told her she had experienced defecation syncope, a dangerous loss of blood flow to the brain caused by intense straining. It happens more often than people think, and many seniors don't survive the fall that comes afterward. The warning signs: lightheadedness, racing heart, headaches, or seeing stars after pushing in the bathroom. If you've ever felt dizzy or faint after straining, you're not alone. It could be your body's way of waving a red flag before something serious happens. Have you ever experienced this before? Leave a comment below. Your story might help someone recognize the danger before it's too late. Habit 2: the hot water trap. For decades, Helen considered her steaming hot showers to be the highlight of her day. After a long life raising 4 children and teaching piano lessons in her neighborhood, that quiet, steamy escape felt like her personal reward. She'd crank the faucet all the way to the right, letting the bathroom fill with thick fog as her skin turned a deep shade of red. "It just melts the stress away," she used to say. But what Helen didn't realize was that her beloved showers were doing something dangerous behind the scenes, something that nearly left her permanently disabled. Here's the truth many older adults never hear. As we age, Our blood vessels become less elastic, and extreme heat causes them to dilate far more than they should. This widening, called vasodilation, dramatically reduces blood pressure in a matter of seconds. It's like your body's internal pipes suddenly expand and pressure drops fast. While this might feel relaxing, it forces the heart to work double time to maintain circulation, especially to the brain. Imagine a garden hose suddenly swelling to twice its normal size. The water pressure weakens, and the flow becomes unstable. Your body reacts the same way. The brain, which demands constant, steady blood flow, begins to panic. That's when the danger begins. 3 months ago, Helen stepped into her usual near-scalding shower. She later found out the water temperature had reached 110 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to steep tea. Within minutes, the room began to spin. Her knees gave way. She collapsed to the shower floor, dazed and gasping, her heart pounding and skin flushed like a boiled lobster. Doctors diagnosed her with a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke brought on by a severe drop in blood pressure. They told her she had been just one heartbeat away from a full-blown stroke. According to recent studies, seniors who regularly bathe in water hotter than 104 degrees Fahrenheit are 250% more likely to suffer cardiovascular events like strokes or fainting spells. The combination of heat, steam, and a closed bathroom space overwhelms the circulatory system, especially when the heart is already working harder due to age. What makes this habit even more dangerous is how good it feels. Most older adults never connect their post-shower dizziness, fatigue, or blurred vision to the temperature of the water. But the risk is very real and very preventable. Helen made a few small changes that made a big difference. She now uses a shower thermometer to ensure the water stays under 100 degrees Fahrenheit warm, but not risky. She reports feeling more refreshed, more energized, and most importantly, more confident that she's no longer putting her brain under pressure. What about you? Do you enjoy your showers extra hot like Helen once did? Drop a comment below and let us know how warm you usually set your water. Your answer might help someone realize they're unknowingly putting their health at risk one hot shower at a time. Habit 3, the sudden stand-up. Of all the habits that nearly cost Helen her independence, the one that surprised her most was something she never even questioned: standing up too quickly after using the toilet. It was the kind of motion she had done thousands of times before, without thinking. But that morning, after sitting for nearly 10 minutes, frustrated with her constipation and running late for her walking group, Helen stood up fast and turned toward the sink. Within seconds, her world went dark. She didn't trip. She didn't slip. She simply lost consciousness. When she woke up, her head was pounding. The bathroom floor was cold, and blood was pooling beneath her. Her temple had struck the porcelain toilet tank on the way down. But the true damage wasn't visible. Her brain had been temporarily starved of oxygen-rich blood, something that could have triggered a massive stroke. Doctors later explained that Helen had experienced orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure that occurs when you change position too quickly. It's especially common in older adults. In fact, research shows that up to 30% of seniors over 70 deal with this condition, often without knowing it until they experience a serious fall. Here's what happens inside the body when you're seated for a long period, especially on the toilet. Gravity causes blood to pool in your legs. Your heart adjusts to this lower demand, pumping at a slower, steadier rate. But when you stand up suddenly, your cardiovascular system needs a few precious seconds to reroute blood upward to your brain. For someone in their 72nd or 82nd, that brief lag can be enough to cause dizziness, blackouts, or worse. It's like asking an old elevator to rush from the ground floor to the top. In an instant, it simply can't keep up. Helen's heart was trying to pump blood nearly 4 feet up against gravity, and her body couldn't adjust in time. Her blood pressure, normally around 135/80, had dropped to 85/50 within seconds. That drop was severe enough to knock her out cold and nearly lead to permanent damage. And here's the part most people overlook. The bathroom is the most dangerous room for these types of incidents. It's full of hard ceramic surfaces, tight spaces, and worst of all, privacy. No one was there to catch Helen or to call for help. It took her nearly 3 minutes to crawl to her phone and dial 911. Thankfully, she recovered, but it was a wake-up call. Since then, Helen has adopted what her doctor calls the 3-step safety method, a simple routine that's helped eliminate her dizzy spells entirely. Step 1. Stay seated for at least 30 seconds after finishing. Let your circulation rebalance. Step 2. Scoot to the edge of the toilet seat and pause for another 15 seconds, allowing your body to adjust. Step 3. Rise slowly over the course of 10 full seconds. Using a grab bar or stable surface for support, this tiny shift in habit has made a massive difference. Helen installed grab bars in her bathroom and now approaches every movement with more patience. She hasn't had another episode since, and the fear that once haunted her daily routines has completely disappeared. Have you ever felt dizzy after standing up, especially in the bathroom? Share your experience in the comments below, because what seems like a small detail could help someone else avoid a devastating fall. Habit 4. The midnight rush. For Helen, the most dangerous moment of her entire day didn't happen during exercise or while crossing a busy street. It happened in the dark at 2 o'clock in the morning when she least expected it. Like many seniors, Helen was waking up multiple times each night with an urgent need to use the bathroom. And, like most, she never imagined that these midnight trips could be putting her life at serious risk. But here's the hidden danger. Nighttime bathroom visits are one of the most overlooked causes of stroke in older adults. During sleep, our bodies lose water through normal breathing and sweating, leading to mild but meaningful dehydration. At the same time, medications many seniors take, like blood pressure pills, diuretics, and sleep aids, often reach peak concentration while you're asleep. This combination of dehydration and medication-induced changes creates a volatile internal environment where your blood thickens, pressure becomes unstable, and your heart works harder than ever, especially the moment you try to get up. Helen was unknowingly caught in this exact storm. She had been prescribed 3 different medications, one to manage her blood pressure, a diuretic to reduce fluid retention, and a sleep aid to help her rest. But at night, this mix was silently setting her up for a crisis. Her blood pressure medication would peak around 3 a.m. Her diuretic would have drained fluid from her body for hours, and her sleep aid dulled her awareness of how fragile her body really was at that hour. One Tuesday night in January, Helen woke up at 2:15 a.m. with a familiar urge. Still half asleep and eager to return to bed quickly, she threw off her blankets and stood up in a rush. Immediately, the room spun. She felt a sharp pressure behind her eyes. Her left arm tingled. Her vision blurred. A pounding headache surged through her skull. Her blood pressure had skyrocketed to 210 over 120 in less than a minute, a hypertensive crisis that could have easily caused a stroke. Instead of ignoring the warning signs, Helen remembered what her doctor had once told her: never push through the dizziness. She slowly sat back down on the edge of the bed and called for emergency help. Paramedics arrived within minutes and confirmed she was in critical condition. Tests later revealed her blood had become dangerously thick due to dehydration, and her medications had caused dramatic swings in blood pressure during the night. Doctors told her she was lucky, just minutes away from a life-altering stroke. Medical studies show that seniors who rise abruptly at night without proper preparation are up to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke between midnight and 6 a.m., a period health professionals call the danger hours. But the good news, it's preventable. Since that terrifying night, Helen has made several changes that now keep her safe. She places a large water bottle next to her bed and drinks a few ounces before attempting to get up. She's also installed motion-activated lights in the hallway and bathroom, eliminating the risk of stumbling in the dark. Most importantly, she follows a 2-minute safety routine sitting upright on the edge of the bed for at least 60 seconds, drinking water slowly, and standing up gradually in small, controlled movements. Her doctor also helped her adjust her medication timing, spacing out her doses to avoid peak interactions during sleep. The result: Helen now moves confidently at night. Without fear, her blood pressure has remained stable, and she sleeps more peacefully, knowing she's taken control of her nighttime routine. The truth is, most seniors don't even realize they're at risk. What feels like a quick bathroom trip might actually be a ticking time bomb inside your cardiovascular system. So let me ask you, how do you handle nighttime bathroom trips? Do you take your time and hydrate, or are you still rushing through the darkness without thinking? Tell us in the comments. Your nighttime habits might just reveal whether you're unknowingly putting yourself in danger. 3 months after her frightening wake-up call, Helen's life has undergone a remarkable transformation. What once felt like ordinary daily routines, rushing to the bathroom, sitting for too long, taking steaming hot showers, are now replaced with mindful, protective habits that have given her back her sense of safety and confidence. Her mornings begin with gentle hydration and a fiber-rich routine that supports her digestion. She's replaced scalding showers with warm, calming water that refreshes without stressing her blood vessels. Every movement, from sitting to standing, is now intentional. She takes her time, listens to her body, and respects its limits. No more dizzy spells or unexpected stumbles. But the most powerful shift came at her follow-up appointment. When Dr. Andrews reviewed Helen's latest blood pressure logs, he was stunned. "These are the healthiest numbers I've seen from you in 10 years. He said. Her blood pressure had stabilized at a steady 125/78. More than just numbers. This meant fewer risks, better sleep, clearer thinking, and above all, peace of mind. Helen's fear of falling or having a stroke during a simple bathroom trip has vanished. She no longer dreads those midnight awakenings. Instead, she prepares drinking water, sitting up slowly, using soft night lighting, and walking with care. She's taken back control. One thoughtful habit at a time. Her daughter sees the difference too. You seem lighter, calmer, like you're moving through life with more purpose. She recently told her, and it's true, Helen is no longer rushing through routines, she's savoring them. Living, not just surviving. Now Helen wants you to hear this. Don't wait for an emergency to force you to change. The small adjustments I made saved my independence and maybe even my life. If this video opened your eyes to silent dangers you never thought about before, please hit that like button and share this message with your loved ones. You never know who might need it most. And be sure to subscribe for more eye-opening advice to help seniors live stronger, safer, and longer.